All right, check 1 2 2 2 1 2. How's it going, YouTube? I trust you're all well. Tony Brown here again with not an Akai MPC video, but again more of a podcast type video, and hopefully my audio is okay. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. I trust you well, man. I trust you had a good weekend. I trust that you have been productive. I certainly have. I made like probably about 4 or 5 beats this weekend, and it was a busy weekend as well. I was out and about most weekends. Had a family function to go to, a friend's function to go to, which kept me out late. Then I had to take my son to football, which again I was out all day, so it was busy, man. But I still found time to make 4 or 5 beats, one of which you can hear playing now. Before I get into this too much, before I start the discussion that I want to talk about today or this evening, I just want to make sure the audio is doing what it should be doing and that you can hear me. So if you are viewing live, then give me a thumbs up, let me know. Let me know the mic is crunking, let me know if the music's too loud. Let me just drop this beat, give me a second. Alright, let's drop this, let's go. Again, so this is one of a few I made over the weekend. So yeah, man, I had a good weekend still. So I'm going to turn this down just to make sure everything's level. So you can see title of the stream. The question I'm asking, and that question is, should an artist, let me turn this down just so you get the full thing. Should an artist have exclusive use of a producer's beats or a producer's work? So when it comes to making music, when it comes to producing music, and you work with an artist, and when I say an artist, that could be a rapper, could be a singer, MC, whatever, should that artist expect to have exclusive use of your works? That's the question. I'm just going to put on a laptop. Also just going to log in. I want to be able to monitor the comments, because this thing right here is a bit dodgy. To work for man. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so that's the question I'm posting. So basically, where has this come from? You might be asking. Let me just turn this down. Where has this come from? So if you're watching this, you're probably a producer, you probably make beats, into sampling and all that, and I'm sure you would have seen that recently that producer, Trizzy on the Track, I think his name is. He went viral. He basically posted himself playing his beat, doing some finger drumming, posted it on Instagram, and it went off. I remember I saw it on Instagram when it was posted, and it went off. You know what I mean? It got a whole bag of views. I saw it on my Explorer page. And basically, Meek Mill got wind of it because a lot of people were tagging Meek Mill saying, yo, this is a beat for you. You should be on this beat. So then he reached out to the guy on Instagram and was like, yo, what you saying? Let's hook up. And they ended up basically working together. They've recorded the track. So that's all good. Respect, man. That's kind of like, number one, the power of social media. That's the producer's kind of dream, you know what I mean? You put your stuff out there, you share it, bang, someone catches wind of it. Before you know it, you're on a plane, you go into the studio. All good. However, what I didn't realise was that the beat that he played is an old beat. And it's a beat that he's recorded previously with someone else. So there's actually a track that's out already that used that beat. I can't remember the name of the track. I can't remember the name of the artist. It's a gospel rap artist from the US. He sounds like he's from down south somewhere. And it's exactly the same beat, you know what I mean? So it's actually a good track. The track's pretty good. So it got me thinking, when he made that beat and this guy's put the track out, how does he feel now knowing that Meek Mill's now got his beat, or supposedly got his beat? When I say his beat, that's the question. You know what I mean? Has that artist got any exclusivity over the use of that track? And again, the reason I bring this up, let me just find this, and then you got my full attention. I just want to go to this. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. Let me just turn this down. Okay, so I can hear it. Yeah, the mic's working. Cool. All good. There we go. Okay. Right, you got my full attention. Yeah, so my man's put the beat out on social. Meek Mill's caught wind of it, and he's remaking the track. So when I was coming up as a producer, it was almost like once an artist has laced a track, it's like it's his track. If you think about the history of hip hop and think back over the years, all the bangers over the years, the Primo beats, Diamond D's, RZA's, across the board, all the producers you can think of, your Pete Rocks, all of them. Once an artist has laced that beat, you ain't hearing no one else on it, unless it's like a remix that a DJ's done, or if it's like, the beat blows up and the artist chooses to bring other people on it. That's the only time, really. So, hold on again, let me turn this down. So it's almost like once whoever gets it first, they get exclusive use of it. That's how it came across. However, the other side of the argument is this. I also grew up around sound system. I grew up around reggae music, bashment, dancehall, whatever you want to call it. And it was a total opposite. When you look at dancehall music, it was a total opposite to hip hop, in a sense of it wasn't about the artist, it was about the producer. And not even about the producer, but about the rhythm. It was about the rhythm track. Yeah. So basically, whichever producer had the hottest rhythm, whichever rhythm track was busting up the streets at the time, every artist wanted a piece of it. And it was all about, who can smash the rhythm the most. So you'd have, one track would come out and all the top artists are jumping on it. That's just how it went. And you'd have like, 7 pieces, 8 pieces from an artist, from different artists on the same track. And you see, for me, that just makes sense. From a producer's point of view, that just makes sense because it gives the track extended life. You know what I mean? It's like you, as a producer, you've made the beat. You're not limited to just one artist's style of recording on that beat, one artist's style of rapping or whatever. You know what I mean? It allows versatility on your work. Do you get what I'm saying? It allows you to showcase different styles on your beat. But hip hop never really went down that route. Hip hop never really done that, and I don't know why. I don't know why that was the case, but we definitely missed a trick. Like I said, it was almost like the artist almost assumes exclusivity over the beat. So, I really think we've missed a trick, man. We've missed a trick. I think hip hop would be a lot more fun if so, like, imagine someone like Timberland now. Yeah, Timberland would put out a beat and it'd be a banger. Let's say he's working with, I don't know, Missy or Jay-Z, whoever he's working with, he'll put something out and it's a banger. And like I said, it was only when the instrumental came out and other DJs would make a version of it. You get me? Or if it was like a mixtape, then, you know what I mean? A man's putting out a mixtape and he's spitting on other people's tracks. But in terms of actually putting out the track, I think it would really be a game changer. And also I'm thinking about like the music industry now, specifically here in the UK. You see, if the UK was to adopt that style, yeah? Because again, it's kind of like a UK thing. UK music kind of came out of reggae music, out of the sound system culture. And I think it's still very much there. You know what I mean? It's very much a part of the culture. Garage, grime, they kind of adopted it. You know what I mean? And I think now with the style of music that's coming out now from the UK, that's all up in the charts, all up in the clubs. It's a lot of UK music. If they adopted that same mentality to say, okay, it's the producer, whoever's got the hottest track, everyone's jumping on that and everyone's busting up that. I think it'd be a good look. I think it'd be a really good look. However, again, the other side of the argument is this: if the artist is willing to pay for exclusivity, then it's a different conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that's the only way. So again, you think about some of the super producers from back in the day, Pharrell, Timberland, Swiss Beats, whoever. If a man's dropping 150 grand, 200 grand on you for a beat, boy, you kind of deserve exclusivity if that's the case. If a man's going to drop that on you and say, bang, I want that beat, I want exclusive use of that beat, and there's 150 grand, 200 grand, plus you get your royalties on top, you can't really, I wouldn't really dispute that. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think anybody would. But as an up-and-coming producer, that's not really happening. You know what I mean? You can't really command that type of money when you haven't won any Grammys or you haven't had any top 10, top 20, any smashes. Until you have those smashes, then you can start commanding those type of figures. But on the come up, I don't think an artist can expect exclusivity. Because imagine you make a banger, yeah? Same situation here. You make a banger and you give it to a local artist in your network. And when I say local, you know what I mean? Someone who's probably on the same level as you as a producer. They're on the come up. They probably got a little following locally, regionally, in their city, in their state, etc. And then that track bring some attention your way? Should that artist expect you not to showcase that track to another artist, a bigger artist? You know, let's say a national artist and someone who's busting up the UK or busting up the country, and they're interested in that. Are you going to say, oh, I can't give you that because, oh, my man's done it? So, who's that? What's he doing? He ain't doing nothing for you. Give me the track, man. Would that artist feel away? Would they feel like, yo, that's my track? And like I said, this has all come from the situation with Meat Mill and that producer. You know, like I said, the track I heard, the original track, was pretty good. It was well produced, it was well put together, well recorded. It's out there, you know what I mean? I think it's about 2, maybe 3 years old, probably even 4 years old, I think it was. It's out there in the world. Where now, you know what I mean, Meat Mill's come and he's putting his version out there. Does that undermine the original version? Should that artist feel away? I'm just posing a question, you know what I mean? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and what you think. It's a tough one. Like I said, I've worked, you know, there was a time where I was working exclusively with an artist here in the UK. Like I was part of the camp. I was the in-house producer in that camp. And it was an independent operation, you know what I mean? We had a little joint venture deal with a label. We got free studio time. And for me, that was the first kind of serious situation. You know what I mean? I was in-house. I had access to as much studio time as I needed. I remember I used to just put my MPC, them times I had the MPC 2000. I used to put it in a suitcase over the weekend, jump on a train, stay at my man's house, and then we'd go over to the studio Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. I'd come back Sunday evening. And it was a good look, man. It was a nice situation. And we recorded quite a lot of material during those sessions. But at the time, like, we never signed no contract. We never had no discussions about anything. It was just, it was an opportunity. It was there. It was the biggest opportunity I had. It was a real situation and the most serious situation I had presented to me at the time. So for me, it was almost like my man assumes exclusivity of anything I make, because everything I made, really, he had full access to it. It was like, yeah, bang, that's for that track. That's for that track. And that's how it was. As soon as I made a beat, he'd just pull one out, you know what I mean? He had binders and folders full of songs, and he was like, yeah, bang, that fits that. He'd spit over it, test it out. Yeah, man, that's for that. Next one. You know what I mean? There's times where he would write on the spot, more or less, to certain things, or I'd leave him a CD with like whatever batch I'd made recently. Let's say I'd made like 16 beats or whatever. I'd leave that with him, come back the next week, and most of the tracks he's wrote to, full songs. So again, it's a case of, because of the situation, he assumed exclusivity over those beats. If, let's say, during that time, somebody would have come along and offered me, or not even offered me, but someone in the same situation would have said, yo, give me that beat. I heard that beat, let me have it. I probably would have says, I can't do it, you know. It's for my man. He's working with it. He's wrote for it. I probably would have done that. Just out of loyalty. You know what I mean? However, if somebody in a bigger situation come and said, you know, let me get that beat and there's X amount of money, maybe that would have been a different conversation. Maybe that would have been a very different conversation. You know, because again, thinking about that situation, I wasn't receiving any money up front. It was all, you know, this is what's going to happen. It was all the back end, you know what I mean? We're going to put this out and I'm going to get exposure. gonna get some royalties. But really, it was about loyalty. That's what it was about. The contract was, it's loyalty. You've brought me into this situation. You've put me in this situation here, and it's a good look. So during that period, anything I make, really, you've got access to. But it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Should an artist assume exclusivity on your material? On your artwork. That's your artwork. His artwork is the lyrics, because I'll tell you what, let's flip it on the other side then. Let's flip it the other way around. If that artist had wrote to your track and put that track out, and a bigger artist, again, we're talking like levels now, so the artist you're working with is a local artist. When I say local, like I said, he's not bussing, he ain't made it, he's local, he's on the come up. If he has wrote a song to your beat, to your artwork, and then he's presented with a situation, he's presented with an opportunity to say work with a bigger producer on a bigger level, and says, yo, let me do that, let's redo that song, I got a beat for you, let's redo that song. What do you think he's going to do? He's gone. That song's gone. It's going to happen. They're going to remake the song, and they're going to say, oh, it's the remix. You see that now? It's the remix. That's the original version, or that's the album version, or, that's the mixtape version. This is the remix, or, this is like the single now. Different arguments. Totally different arguments. But even that, that kind of happened to me when I think about it now. So again, locally, I was working on my first album. Again, just a local independent release. I was working on it, and I invited a number of artists to come and jump on some tracks. So I produced all the beats, and I was like, yeah, I want so and so on that one. I'm gonna reach out to so and so to put them on that one. I got an idea for this one to work on that one. And there was one track that I made, and I gave the entire track to a specific artist to say, yo, I want you to lace this entire track. Because a lot of them were like, I'd bring people together, and say, okay, first verse, second verse, third verse, compilation thing. Where this one, it was like, bang, you're going to do the whole track. So they done it and put that out on my album. Yeah. Produced by me. They rapped on the track. It's done. This track, was the first release they ever had. They never had anything out. My man was doing his thing locally, but he'd never had a release, never had anything out. I put my album out now. I got 4 mics in the top hip hop magazine here in the UK, and they mentioned that track as being like, yeah, man, that's a big track still. That they highlighted that track to say, yeah, man done his thing. So then these guys got a little situation, and what happened was they re-recorded the track on a different beat with a different producer, put it out on 12-inch, and, pressed it up on vinyl. And I was like, it's all good. But you couldn't even give me the B-side. Do you get me? It's like, okay, so on your single now, on your 12-inch single, you got space for a good 6 tracks, yeah? You think about it, most 12-inch singles had the original version, the radio version. Yes, Philippe, I trust you well. But most 12-inch singles had the original version, yeah? The radio version, the a cappella, the instrumental. That's standard, yeah? Some of them may have had like a remix on the B side. So there's always space to squeeze, squeeze at least 4-5 songs on there on a 12-inch. So I'm saying, when these guys done that, I thought to myself, raw, you couldn't even give man the B-side. Like, you couldn't even give man the remix then. And like I said, it was me that recorded them originally. You know what I mean? The track came from me giving him the beat, him writing to that track, getting a mention in the magazine, you know what I mean, getting some exposure, and then bang, they got a situation. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, when it comes to exclusivity, you got to have these conversations up front. Like, it's business. And that's what we forget, man, because it's art. You know what I mean? This is what we love. We do what we love. I do this because I love it. You know what I mean? I find these samples and chop them up and do it as recreation. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. It's therapeutic. But when it comes to the business side of it, you got to be serious, man. You have to have those discussions up front. So, like I said, if a man wanted to work, like at this stage where I'm at now, as a big man, you know what I mean? I'm not coming up anymore, you know. If a man wants to have a conversation about working together, then we should be able to have that conversation open and upfront without any emotion. Like, okay, what's the deal? And that shouldn't hinder the artistic work, the artistic side of it. So Phillips asks, is there a standard procedure for these cases? I don't think there is. There should be, but I don't think there is. I don't think, and like I said, unless like you have to put the standard procedure in place, like I would have to put it in place. You know what I mean? I would have to say, okay, this is my standard procedure. If you want to work with me, this is the process. Question number 1, what's the deal? Do you have a budget? Yeah, man. Shout out to Vincent as well. Big up yourself, man. So these sessions, really, these are more like a podcast kind of thing. So it's just me just sharing some thoughts, sharing some ideas. If you enjoy these, let me know, man. Because, you know, I'll do more of this. It's easy to come on and just do the live stream of the beats and that, but there's another side of it as well, you know, and I think there's value in this. So, you know, I mean, if you like these, let me know, man. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if these are valuable. But so in terms of the standard procedure, I think you have to put it in place. Yeah, it's true. Philip said he's self-employed. So yes, you have to be upfront, straight from the gate, you know, because it's business. So yeah, it's about being open. It's about being open. It's about being mature. It's about, you know, being shrewd about your business. Once that's in place, you see, once you've got that in place, the artistic side of it is so much easier because there's no barriers. Like, again, I've been in situations, and again, listen, let me tell you this, right? I ain't no big time producer. You know what I mean? I'm not a professional producer. I do what I do because I love it. I do what I do because I enjoy it. But I've been in some situations, you know, I've been in the industry. I've worked in certain situations. I've been exposed to certain things. So I've got some knowledge. You know what I mean? I'm not making this up. You know what I mean? A lot of this comes from experience, which I'm sure most of you have got as well. You've all got your own experiences. You've got your paths that you walk. So again, I've been in a situation where there's been politics. So, you know what I mean? We went into something, and we went into it like, yeah, man, this is what we're doing. And everyone's, you know, just vibes in like, yeah, man, yo, it's on. We're going studio. Yeah, man, yo, I got beats. Oh, he's got raps. Rare. We're going studio. Everyone's on a hype thing. And then as time started going on, it was like, I got questions like, what's happening with this? Or what's going to happen with that? Or what percentage am I going to get for this? And I wrote part of that hook, so what's going to happen with that? But because of the because we've already started the journey, it's like you're already on board. So now someone in the circle is gonna, what did I say? Upset the cart or something like that. You're gonna rock the boat, basically. You're gonna have to stop and say, listen, stop, everyone stop. Everyone stop. I know the beat's banging. I know the track's banging. I know that, you're doing your things, all good. However, we need to have a discussion about the business side of things, about percentage splits, about publishing, about exclusivity. We need to have these discussions now. If not now, within the next few days, we need to have these discussions. Because if not, we're not going to be able to move forward with peace, with like a surety, like, yeah, man, I know what I'm getting. Okay, I'm very happy with that. You're happy with that. You're happy. Everyone happy? We're happy. Bang, let's go. And you just go. Everyone's happy then. You're free. You're liberated to say, okay, bang, I know what I'm doing then. So yeah, you're right, Philippe. There are sites where you can lease your beats. There's a number of them. What's it called? I don't even know myself, but yeah. If you remember the name, Google it. If you remember the name, just drop it in the comments there. But there are definitely sites where you can do it. Is it Beatstar? What's Beatstar? Beatstar.com. I mean, again, I should know this, but you can see. Ain't really on it like that, you know what I mean? Beatstar.com security check. Okay, am I doing this? No, I don't want a Chrome extension. Get lost. I'm not going to your site. Sorry, Beatstar. I'm not going there. Right, so I just tried to go on there. Lease beats. Let's see. So you got lease a beat, blackout vision, Guerrilla Beats, Beatmaker Lab, beat.lease. Yeah, some of them look a bit cheap still. Some of the websites just look a bit like not very well designed, to be honest. Let's have a look at Guerrilla Beats. Buy one, get one free. Okay, so we're on Guerrilla Beats then. The number one place to get your beats produced by Guerrilla Beats. Okay, so my man set up his own thing. That's what he's doing. Fair play. All right, so let's have a look at this then. So he's this guy here, Guerrilla Beats. Shout out to Guerrilla Beats. You're doing your thing. I haven't listened to your tracks, but you're serious about your business, which is very good. So MP3, $30 a lease. So receive the MPC beat untagged and sell up to 3,000 tracks. That's not bad. I don't know how that would work in terms of streaming. Available for iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. Guerrilla Beats maintains full ownership of the instrumental. Fair play. $30 a lick. For $50, and you only get an MP3, so you get a low quality. For extra $20, you get a WAV file. You can set up to 5,000 tracks. And again, Guerrilla Beats maintains full ownership of the instrumental. So then we move up to $150 a lick. And you get the WAV, but you get it tracked out. So the first two, you're only getting just one stereo file, MP3 or WAV. You know what I mean? Nothing fancy. You ain't getting the tracks. You're not getting the stems. You're just getting the WAV file flat. For 150, you're now getting the WAV file tracked out. And if you don't know what that means, which I'm sure you do, but I'll explain for those that are not sure what that means. Basically, each individual element of the beat is on a separate file, so you can mix it down. So for example, in this case, you'd get that on one track, then you get another track with just a crash, you get another one with just a ride, you'd get another one with just the hi-hat, you then get the drum, and then you get the filter, and then when you're ready you can mix it all down. So that's what it means. It's tracked out. You get each stem individual. So for $150 now you can sell up to 10,000 tracks, but again, Guerrilla Beats maintains full ownership of the instrumental. So that's for $150. Okay, so for $250, again, you get unlimited use. So there's no restriction on how many tracks you can sell. You receive the beat untagged with waves and stems. However, Guerrilla Beats still maintains full ownership of the instrumental. So what that means is that he can sell it again over and over and over again, which I'm sure you know. So then the top end is $1,250 plus. It says plus. So for $1,250, you get exclusive rights. Yeah, so you're paying $1,200 for exclusive rights. So again, you get the beats, stems, unlimited releases, and you'll receive 50% ownership of the instrumental, and receive a signed contract. So basically, you get exclusive rights to use a beat, but you get 50% ownership. So basically, my man's maintaining 50% of his publishing, which is about standard when it comes to splits. Straight away, if you're working with an artist, you're the producer, you've made the beat, straight away 50% of that's yours. They then get the other 50% as the artist. So yeah, I mean that seems pretty fair. Oh yeah, Tracklib, yeah man. Rock City, I trust you well. Philippe, I trust you well. Yes. So but Tracklib, my understanding is with Tracklib, is that's more for you to buy samples, like to get access to samples, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, I know 2.6 is out. I haven't upgraded yet. I was just waiting. You see me? I don't rush to upgrade. I'll tell you straight. I don't rush to upgrade. I usually wait for any bugs to be kind of eased out. I'm happy with what I've got right now. I'm not going to rush to upgrade. I usually wait till the next version comes out. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, in terms of Tracklib, my understanding is that Tracklib is more for a place where producer can access samples that they can then release their music, because they, by buying it through Tracklib, the rights and the clearance has already been bought through or been licensed for use. So again, you pay a certain amount. They've got different tiers and whatever, but you pay a certain amount and you can use a certain amount of that track. You pay a higher amount, you can use more of the track. That's my understanding in terms of how that works. And then they've also got like a tiered system in terms of the lower price samples, right the way up to like the premium samples, which are priced at a certain rate. But yeah, man, Tracklib's a good idea still. Rock City, what you saying, man? What you saying to me? I trust you well. So yeah, like the main point is, should an artist expect to get exclusive rights to your music? Yes or no? So if you're watching the rerun of this, if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments, man. I want to hear your thoughts. You've heard my argument. It's both sides. There's arguments for both sides. Again, just like we just seen there in Guerrilla Beats, if you're putting down the bag, then, you know what I mean, you got to pay for exclusivity. You got to pay for it. If you want it exclusive, you got to pay for that. If not, then it's going on the market. But like I said, that wasn't the normal setup previously. So Philip says, why not? Under the right conditions, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But again, it's like, but this is what I'm saying. This is the argument now. The argument is, yeah. So let's say the right conditions are, you're working with your brethren, you know what I mean, a guy that you've grown up with, or, you know, someone from round the way, he's up and coming, you're doing your thing, you're up and coming, you agree to go studio, he spits on your track goes out on a little mixtape, gets a little local buzz, and then a bigger name artist comes along and says, yo, I heard that mixtape, that track's banging, I want that track. Has that artist you've worked with, is that artist entitled to exclusivity? Because like I said, when I was coming up, once a artist has recorded on that track, it's their track. You know, if you think about it, you don't hear anyone else, you never heard no one else rap on, what's it called? New York State of Mind by Primo. You know, Whose World Is This by Pete Rock. You know what I mean? No, those was exclusive for Nas. Now, did he pay them up front for that? I don't know. But do you get what I'm saying? So what Philip's saying is, now, if one goes to mid-market artists and wants to be known, maybe free productions are part of marketing. That's the point I'm making. So the point I'm making is, you give this artist tracks for free, just out of, you know, wanting to support him on his journey, and you get an exposure and being marketed and, you know, being presented in front of a bigger audience, which is all good. But what I'm saying is, once you get in front of that bigger audience and a bigger artist comes and he says, yo, I want that track, I want that beat you made for my man, or I want that beat there, and you're like, oh, that's for him. He's like, you know, the artist, being a bigger artist, could say, I don't care. First dose always free. Okay. Yeah. It's true. But then not always as well. Not always. Because it depends on your position and how you value yourself. Yo, let me tell you this story then. So, again, I'm doing my thing on YouTube. I got my SoundCloud and whatever. And even at my SoundCloud, I haven't updated it for years. My SoundCloud is so out of date, it's terrible. But I'm more into doing these live streams, you know what I mean? Anyway, so got a message off this guy from SoundCloud, and he was like, yo, your beats are banging. I was like, yeah, respect, nice one, man. Yo, let's work. And he come to find out, he was from my home city, the city where I was born and raised. I don't live there no more, but that's where he's from. So from that, now my mum was gassed. He was like, yo, I can't believe it, man, you're from Wolverhampton. We need to connect. Rare. You know, I'm proper gassed. So anyway, I'm saying to him, what's your situation? I'm just thinking, yo, I'm a big man. You know what I mean? I got 4 children. So what's your situation? So he told me he's just about to sign a deal with an independent label. So I was like, okay, cool. So from you talking about signing a contract to signing a deal, you know the business. So I says to him, are they giving you a budget? He was like, oh, nah. The way it works is he puts the product together, brings it to them, they release it. So that's a different conversation. Yeah, that's messed up, but that's a different conversation, because he shouldn't have signed as an artist. He should sign as a production company, because he's bringing in product. He's not going there as an artist and saying, right, I'm here, where do you want me to go? Where's my studio? Where's the producer budget? That's what an artist should do. He's going to them with a product, so he should be signing as a production company. But anyway, that's a different matter. So I'm saying to him, so you ain't got no budget, what you willing to pay for the beats? Like, we can't. I just wanted to open up the conversation about, you ain't getting this for free. You know what I mean? What you willing to pay for the beats? My man says, hold on. I ain't making no cheap beats. I've been doing this for a long time. My man offered me. How much do you think he offered me for the beat? How much do you think? English pounds. How much do you think? This guy he's already told me he's about to sign a record contract with an independent record label. He's already got material out. He's already doing shows. He came to me. I never came to him. How much do you think he offered me for a beat, for one of my beats? Type a number in the comments. Let's see. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to read this comment. I have a poor cement on the deal thing. Nothing to do with music, but can work. So start something partial, then work out the deal. Okay. But everything, what matters is the network. Okay, we've got some numbers coming in. Hold on, let me turn this back up for a second. How much do you think? We've got two numbers. Someone said 100 English pounds because he was cheap. Philip says £100. White Panther said 50 pence. Any more numbers? Any more guesses how much this artist offered me for a beat? Give you a few more seconds. My man offered me 20 English pounds. French beat makers are happy with 500 euros. So they should be. My man offered me 20 English pounds for a beat. I said, yo, I'd rather give you for free than give you £20, then take you £20. I said, it will cost me more than £20 to get in my car and drive to Wolverhampton and gear the thing. Because I'm the type of person, if we're working, if you're in the UK and we're working, I'm coming to the studio. Yeah, we can track out the thing. I can send it to you on WeTransfer or whatever. £20. My car is a 2-litre turbo diesel. It sucks petrol. £20. I said, you know what, bro? This is what's going to happen. Go on my SoundCloud and pick 2 beats and I'll let you work with them. And when I hear what you've recorded on them, then we can talk. But I'm not making you no promises. And I'm not taking you £20. I says to him, I'm not even interested in the front end, to be honest, right now. I says, I just want to make sure that the back end's right. So I want to entertain a discussion about publishing, about splits. And you see, from I spoke to him like that, he was like, "Oh, you serious?" I was like, "What? You think I'm playing games?" Those are discussions we should be having. That's standard. So from that now, the conversation started. Well, no, the conversation kind of changed. So then it got to the point where I'm on the phone with him. No, actually, let me tell you how it panned out. So we going back and forth over Facebook Messenger, yeah? So then, bang, he hit me with the £20 on Facebook Messenger. I typed out my phone number. I says, phone me. He phoned me. And I says, yo. That's when I gave him the talk about, yo, I wouldn't even take you £20. I'm not even going to get in my car and drive to Wolverhampton for £20. Yeah? I'd rather give it you for free and just see what you're working with. I'd rather say, bang, work with that, write something, like, make me a demo then. You get what I'm saying? You make me a demo. I want to hear what you're going to do with my track to see whether I want to work with you or not. That conversation ended up being a consultation session for this guy. Because, like I said, that's when I began to ask about the deal. And I was like, so you're signing this deal, yeah? You're signing this deal for 2 EPs or whatever, an EP and an album. Have they given you a budget? Have you got studio access? Have they given you a producer's budget? What's your marketing budget? I was asking in like just standard questions that anyone would ask who's going to sign a deal. And that's when he began to tell me about he's basically producing the music and presenting them with the products, and they're gonna distribute it for him and market it for him. So Tube Digger, 1 second. Tube Digger charges $50 an hour for MPC consultation. Okay. I don't know who Tube Digger is, but I'm going to check him out. So I basically charge $35 an hour. That's how much I charge for the same thing. So you get a 1 hour consultation. However, with my sessions, you have to book a minimum of a block of 4 sessions. That's how it works. Tube Digger. Okay, I'm going to check him out. Sounds good. Respect for that, man. I appreciate it. So anyway, yeah. So we started having a conversation, yeah? And like I said, he's going to them with the final product. So I said to him, so why are you signing as an artist then? And I've told this story before. If you haven't heard it before, if you have, forgive me. I'm going to tell it again. So I'm saying to him now, why are you signing as an artist? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you're going to them with the final product. He's like, yeah. I said, so you're booking studio? He's like, yeah. You're bringing in the producers? Yeah, man. My producer, or I got a guy who comes to the studio with me, or I got this guy who gives me beats. I got this other guy, I might give him £40, £50 for a beat. I wouldn't pay more than that though. £40, £50 for a beat. He goes studio, does his thing, gets it mixed down, presents them with the products. They'll probably master it a little bit more, and then they put it out and distribute it and market it. So I says to him, you're not operating as an artist, so why are you signing an artist deal? You're operating as a production company. You should be having a conversation with them about a joint venture deal. You should be set up as a production company or a limited company where you're not talking to them as an artist. You're talking to them as a business, and straight away it's a different conversation. And he was like, raw. He was kind of blown away, to be honest. And I was like, what you think? You're around people that I know. You're around people who are in the industry that I know. I know they're in the industry. I came out of the industry. I left it all behind. You know what I mean? These people have been in it as long as I've been in it and more, because they continued. I left. And they're not schooling you on this. They're not cluing you up on this. Boy, that's not good. That's not good at all. We may do more money with making MPC expansions. I'm having some fun doing one. Okay. So actually making the kits. Yeah. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of producers went into that. So actually making drum packs and kits and all that, and then selling them. There's money in that, but for me, it's a case of it can't be trash, man. You know what I mean? Some people just recycle other people's drums, put them together and put them out, and try to, you know what I mean? Like if I was gonna do that, to be honest, let me tell you this. Again, just this is a stop the beat type of moment. I'm not even happy with my own drums. Never mind making drums for me to sell to someone else. Like I would have to get some banging drums, and I'm not even happy with the drums I use at the moment. But that's another story. That's a different story. So yeah, like I said, man, you know, they might offer you exposure as a producer. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get you exposure. We've all heard the memes. We've seen the memes and heard the jokes about that. They might promise you the world at the back end. But like I said, you got to have the conversation from the beginning, man. That's the most important thing. Be willing to have the conversation at the front end, because that will give you peace of mind as you're going through the process. You know, I've definitely got some outstanding conversations that need to take place. You know, there's people who've got my music now, and we haven't had the conversation. Just historically, it's just, you know, I mean, we work together. I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know what's happened to it, and vice versa. You know, I mean, I've got music put down that people have recorded on my beats, and I've got the tracks here. I've got the masters almost. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, upfront pay is always good, but definitely the back end as well. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing as well. Like going back and talking about this guy. I asked him. I says, "Yo, so are you registered with PRS, the Performing Rights Society, basically where you get your royalties, where you get your publishing, etc." He's like, "Oh, nah, not yet." I was like, "You're about to sign a record deal, and you haven't registered with PRS." It's a different conversation. I said, I got my PRS number ready to go. Just, you know what I mean? Soon as we're ready to move forward, bang, I'll give you my number. There's my registration number. I'm logging my stuff. I'm logging my music, my works on my account. So whether you get paid or not, that's your business, but I'm logging my stuff. Again, another situation. Artist reached out. Must have heard some beats. I think I put them on Facebook. I was doing a live stream or something. And again, he was gassing like, yo, yeah, man. I want that beat. That beat's sick. I says, yeah, man, okay, we can do something. So I just asked him the question on Facebook Messenger. I was like, you registered with PRS? The guy says to me, hear what the guy says to me. Again, another stop the beat moment. The guy says to me, "What's that?" This guy has been known as an MC for like 15, almost 20 years. and he asked me what PRS is. I can't take it, man. Conversation kind of ended there. It's like, I can't work with you, man. You know, I understand, you know what I mean? There's different situations. So Philippe says, Rick Beto YouTube channel, also neat for such matters. But all of that story would have made my gut tell me to walk away. Yep. It did. Me and him ain't working. You know what I mean? If anything, if you're going to work, I would work with him as a consultant. That's what I would do. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to see people get ripped off. You know what I mean? I hate that stuff. You know, I've gone and done seminars and talks for up and coming artists. You know what I mean? Where it's a case of these artists are up and coming. Just come and do a talk about publishing, about, you know what I mean, them having the best start in their career. And for me, my approach has always been this. It's never sign as an artist. Like, never sign as an artist. There's just no, in the day and age we live in now, there's no need for you to sign as an artist. You should never have to sign an artist deal. Never. Unless you just, you know what I mean, you're content just getting your little, how much percent, 4% or whatever, and you just want to turn up at the studio and go, all right, where do you want me to go? Where's the song you want me to sing? Yeah, okay, you got your writer. You know what I mean? Yeah. After 20 years in the business, I trust it above everything else, and there is no need. It's true, there isn't, man. It's harder work. The work is a lot harder because it's on you, but the long term, it's long term. You know what I mean? The long term rewards are much, much better because you're in control. We've heard all the stories, man. So anyway, I'm kind of done, man. You know, like I said, get in the comments, let me know. We're going for an hour. I didn't plan to go this long. I'm just chatting. What are your thoughts? Should an artist assume exclusivity on a producer's works? Horses for courses, you know what I mean? Depends on the situation. There's always different situations. What's my man saying? And then you read Krishnamurti. I don't know what that is. I'll have to Google it. Yeah, forgive me, man. I'm ignorant. Forgive me. Okay, who's this guy? He's an Indian philosopher. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. And I appreciate you listening to me just venting. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you find these valuable, then let me know. I'm happy to do more. I got a lot of stories I can tell. And I hope you enjoyed the beats. Okay, good sampling material. I'll have to check him out. But in the meantime, it's got to go into radio mode now. But in the meantime, I trust you enjoyed that. And I look forward to seeing you again in another live stream. So until then, all the best. God bless. And take care. Big up yourself, Philippe. I appreciate you, man. Philippe's like the main commenter, so I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. You always good to have dialogue rather than just monologue, you get me? So yeah, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, enjoy it. And I'll see you again. Okay, yeah, man, it's like we're an hour behind you. So yeah, man, I need to as well. I've got an early start, but you know, I'd like to have an early start. So anyway, all the best, God bless, and take care. I'll see you again in another live stream.